Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be talking about the history of Transformers. Now I looked up all this stuff, and there's a lot of stuff on them. So, because they've been around since the 90s. So, let's start off with their home planet. So, Cybertron is the home planet of the Autobots, Decepticons, Dinobots, anything that has to do with Transformers. It is also Primus. Primus is Cybertron. Primus is the body of Cybertron. Now I know that kind of sounds a little weird, but the thing is, Primus and Unicron were brothers. But Unicron wanted all the power. And Primus, he didn't want that. So he turned himself into Cybertron. And then evolved the Transformers. Now, let's talk about the actual big guy, Optimus Prime. So, Optimus Prime was once Orion Pax. He was a shipyard worker. He worked on the docks, bringing in, and when they brought in the, I guess you would call weapons or anything, you know, that they used, like building equipment or anything like that, he'd bring it on in. And he met a girl there, Alita, and we'll talk about her in a minute. And also, he made a friend, Megatron, who actually, if you guys have seen the new movie, D16 was his real name before he became Megatron. So, Bumblebee. Next is Bumblebee. Bumblebee is the youngest Transformer. And he is also the adoptive son of Alita and Optimus Prime. Optimus and Alita found him on their doorstep as an infant. They say that he was a failed experiment, and they just, you know, got rid of him because he was too small, and he doesn't really have that many weapons on him. So they sort of threw him away like garbage. Then there's Sentinel Major, which is called Sentinel Prime. Now, Sentinel Prime is the mentor, or was the mentor for Optimus Prime. But he is also the man that, you know, I would say he was the main leader that started the, you know. But not many people liked him, though. Some of them didn't like him because, you know, he wanted to change things and stuff like that. But he was a good role model for Prime. Optimus. Next we have Mirage. Mirage is kind of a little crazy. He doesn't really like to follow rules. He doesn't really, you know, follow direction very well. And he likes to be a little crazy. So, he's very immature, and he's always messing around. So, Mirage is kind of, how I'd say, I guess, immature, like I said before. Then there's Ultra Magnus. Ultra Magnus was a key lieutenant to Optimus Prime. He worked with him during the war as his second in command. And he was the one that trained the other soldiers and everything like that. And also was there when Optimus couldn't be there. Prowl. Now Prowl is, he is a major, like, Major Soldier. He was like the big guy, big, like, you know, how I'd say it, I guess. But the fellow Autobots didn't really agree with Prowl. Sometimes he, you know, didn't really agree with other people's situation, like suggestions or anything, because he liked to be his own person. And then there's Grimlock. Now everybody knows Grimlock. Grimlock is a Dinobot, and he's really big. He's always saying, "Me, Grimlock." So, and he was actually created by the Autobots. They created him. Ratchet, you know, they created the Dinobots. And that was like, you know, really crazy, you know. It's kind of hard for them. Now, unlike Prowl, Jazz, he responds very well to respect and, say, anything, you know, that somebody, he doesn't really disagree that, he agrees with everybody pretty much. If he thinks that, you know, he doesn't really tell people, you know, or Autobots, you know, that he doesn't think that, you know, he likes to keep it to himself. He likes to try and agree with everybody. He doesn't like to start fights and stuff. Now, Cliffjumper. Cliffjumper, he is also, he has a relationship with RC, which we'll talk about RC later. And he was a soldier, as assistant to Optimus Prime. Now he's in the Transformers Prime series, but he's only in one episode. And then the Transformers 90s cartoon, he's a soldier, and assistant, and, you know, all that stuff. Now, Ratchet is the medic. He's the medical officer. He helps and assists other robots. He helps fix equipment. He also helps the Autobots when they're injured. And actually, in one of these TV shows I watched, he also helped Decepticons, which I did not know that before he became an Autobot. He was just a regular robot who, you know, just helped people. You got Sideswipe. Sideswipe is an Autobot, and he's very immature, like one of the other ones I told you. He's very out there, like, he likes to fight. He likes fighting and disagreeing for some weird reason, and I don't know why. So, but, anyway. Now, Smokescreen. Smokescreen is a little crazy. He likes to, if you guys have seen Transformers Robots in Disguise, I think Smokescreen is in there, I'm not sure. But anyway, he's just crazy. That's all I have to tell you. He's just crazy. Now, Windblade. Windblade is in Transformers Robots in Disguise. She's also a police car. Police vehicle. And she is also, was also a police officer on Cybertron. So, that's her. Tailgate. Tailgate was also a boyfriend of RC. RC guys love Transformer males loved RC. So she has a lot of different people. Tailgate was murdered by, RC was captured by, let's see, what's her name? Black Arachnia. And, Arachnid. And she watched her murder, Tailgate in front of her face. Now Hotshot. Hotshot is, he's, like, let's just say, he's assistant leader, I guess, for the younger, I don't know. partner to Jolt. I don't know who Jolt is. Let's see. Drift. Drift is in Age of Extinction. He turns into a plane, and he has sword hands. Now, Drift was also, I don't know if you guys know this, but he was also once a Decepticon. So he still has a little bit of attitude on him. He doesn't sometimes agree with Prime or stuff like that or anything, you know, some people say, some robots say. Now, Megatron is a Decepticon. Everybody knows that. Megatron, he's a bit of a hardhead. He likes everybody to, you know, like, all Decepticons, you know, to know that he's the boss. And, you know, he doesn't like it when other people try and, like, overthrow him. Now, Arcee. Arcee is a motorcycle. And, she's also was in a relationship with, Cliffjumper and Tailgate. So, and also, I've done a lot of research on these Transformers. She was also the daughter of Optimus Prime. I didn't know that. She's his biological daughter, which I didn't know that either, and I don't think any of you guys knew that. So, I did not know that. Ironhide is a truck. He is also, he doesn't mess around. He doesn't play games. He's always serious. He's not the type of robot that, you know, tells jokes or thinks things are funny. So he's always very, you know, I'm the boss or whatever. Then Starscream. Starscream's a Decepticon, and everybody thinks that he's a real jerk. All the Decepticons think he's the jerk. And he's always trying to overthrow Megatron. And that doesn't usually end well for him. So, I mean, one time I think if you guys have seen 90s cartoon, he loses his foot in one of the episodes. So you could tell that he's really stupid. So, which is what I think. I don't know if anybody else thinks that. Hot Rod is in the 90s movie. He also becomes Rodimus Prime. Because Optimus gets killed in the 90s movie. And he becomes Rodimus Prime. Megatron. Well, we already talked about Megatron. I'm sorry, that's something else. Sideswipe. Sideswipe, he's got swords and stuff. You know, his hands, you know, just like, the other one. He has also sword hands as well. So, but his don't come out right here. They come out of his hands. Kind of like Optimus Prime. He has sword hands. He also has sword hands. Unfortunately, Optimus Prime's they're bigger and longer. But that's because he's bigger. Ironhide was one of the oldest Transformers. Toughest. He was not just with Optimus Prime. He was also with Sentinel Prime. Who was one of the leaders. Mirage is a real smartass. He is always messing around. You know, doing all kinds of crazy stuff. If you guys saw Rise of the Beast, you know, Mirage, he's always making mischief. He brought a human to the base, you know, and he's always, like, you know, just messing around. Because, you know, that's what he does. He likes to just be a jerk. Jazz is Optimus Prime's right hand. He's assistant to Optimus Prime. helping him, you know, if he needs assistance. Saying, you know, I need you to help me with this guy or whatever, or this other robot, you know. Jetfire, he is a Decepticon. But then he becomes an Autobot because he doesn't feel that it's right in the 90s cartoon. He doesn't feel that it's right to, like, just kill innocent robots and stuff like that. He was also friends with Starscream. They were both also scientists. Both of them worked in a science factory, like where chemicals and like dealing with other, I guess, like scientists. That's what they were. They were scientists experimenting. Now Soundwave, he doesn't really talk. He like has like, you know, as much. You know, he's like, he has these little minions that are with him, or I think if you guys seen the movies, the cartoons, he has like this little, in the 90s cartoon, he's got a lot of like little helpers or whatever. Anyway, now Bumblebee. Bumblebee is the youngest Transformer out of all of them. So, he's brother in arms with Hot Rod. They're actually siblings, which I did not know that either. So, RC is like, you know, she's more complex than the other robots. She's like the girl in charge or whatever. And she's a motorcycle, and she likes, you know, to like she likes to be a bad girl sometimes. You know. Bulkhead is he's in the Transformers Prime series. I'm not sure if he's in any other series or movies. But anyway, he's like a big bulldozer, like a big, I would say, he kind of looks like an army vehicle, sort of, but not really. Say like a giant Jeep or something like that. But yeah, he's kind of up there, you know. So, Wheeljack. Wheeljack is, how I'd say, he's friends with Bulkhead. They were a big deal with the Wreckers. They were like a secret unit of like warriors and stuff, or soldiers per se. Wheelie is the smallest Transformer. He turns into like a little Jeep, or like, which looks like it comes with a remote control. He's so cute. And he's really funny, so I kind of like him. Hound is just like Bulkhead, and I think they're brothers. I'm not sure, because they look so similar, which I think is kind of really crazy. But I think they are brothers because they are both very similar. Unless Bulkhead is called Hound, but I don't think so. Like, that's another word they call him. Ratchet is the medic. And he's also, he also, in, if you see the Transformers Prime, he also does experiments and everything. He experiments on things. And he experimented on something that, you know, and he, you know, it just didn't go well for him. He tried to create some type of Energon, because the Autobots were running out of Energon. So he tried to create some Energon. And it did okay for him, because it made him, like, go fast, and, like, it made him stronger. But then it made him really sick, and almost killed him. But nobody's perfect. And last but not least is Alita. Now, Alita and Optimus Prime have a relationship. She was actually called Ariel. And, she was the leader of the female Autobots. The female Transformers. So, she and Optimus Prime were a couple. They like I said, Bumblebee is their child, so she is his mother. But anyway, so like I said, or I probably will tell you, I got all this information off the internet, and I'm actually writing a book about it. It'll be called The History of Transformers. Now, I'm not sure when I'll get it out, but I have other books I'm writing and stuff like that. So, I will be having a Transformers Saga series. And I will probably do a video on that soon. Because I'm writing about, like, different, like, there'll be Transformers Christmas, Transformers Halloween, all kinds of, like, you know, there are a lot of Transformers comic books and books. Most of them are not appropriate for children. Some of them can be kind of scary. So, my plan is to create a saga, a Transformers saga of, like, you know, books, of series of books like Transformers Christmas, Transformers Halloween, the anniversary of Optimus Prime and Alita 1, and let's see, what was the other one, the really good one? Transformers Thanksgiving. That one's going to be a really good one. I know that for sure. And it's going to, like, have all this cool stuff. It's going to be really funny. I've got you know, Grimlock's going to be in there, and, you know, it's going to be great. So, I'll be coming up with that soon. If you guys have any other ideas of any other Transformers books I should write for my book series, feel free to comment and, you know, also give information, like, you know. The reason I'm creating a book series is because Transformers, now that they got, they've gotten down in value, and I think a book series might make them go up better. Because Rise of the Beast, no, nobody liked that style of him. And if you guys look up Transformers Rise of the Beast, and look at his picture, and then look up Transformers Age of Extinction, or The Last Knight, the thing is, they made it in Rise of the Beast, they made him way too big. Now, I think they were trying to go with the 90s cartoon, because yes, he is bigger in the 90s cartoon. But as, I don't know how they would say the Transformers movies is, you know, but anyway, it wasn't really a good look for him. It made him shorter. It made him, I mean, he was still big, but for some people, they think it shrunk down his size. I mean, he was still big and tall, but you couldn't really see it because they made his legs way too big, his arms way too big. Now, my preference, the one I like the most, is Transformers Age of Extinction. Because he's got really skinny legs, really skinny arms, which makes his height bigger. Because in one of the Transformers movies, they boosted his height to, he was 28 feet. They boosted it when they got to Age of Extinction to 30 feet. But when they got to Rise of the Beast, I think it made him go back to lower than that. I think it made him go to 26 feet. Because of his size, because of how big they made it. And nobody liked that. I hated it because I didn't like it. It was weird. But anyway, like I said, I will probably be doing a video on my Transformers book series. We'll talk more about that next time. And so like I said, comment down below. Ask me if you like this video, if you'd like me to do any more history videos about Transformers. So thanks guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.